Bing, we're live. It's Sam and Michael. It's the Kent Beck Scrum on a Monday. Michael, how are things going with you?
Good. So I got part of the way through the assignment for deep learning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having trouble with testing the training loss, I think, with no regularization. Or with regularization. Yeah, I'm not getting with the regularization. It just seems to be off.
Right.
I'm not sure why. But you seem to have gotten a little further.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it for that. And then my friend and I were looking at cohort analysis over the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Basically, like looking at historic data and saying like we're starting to look at like if somebody joined on a certain date, like what's the long term activity level of those people?
Mm-hmm.
Like 30 days later or whatever.
And this is for people joining like the free membership on the website.
Yes. And then activities defined by right now different things on the website like hosting hangouts or whatever. We don't actually have we don't have a record of like when people signed in, which is kind of unfortunate. We just have their last
sign-in date. Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't have that. But we do have other things in the website that they might have done that we could look at. Yeah. So I was doing some SQL queries.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that's with data coming out of Google Analytics or out of the website one?
Out of the website one.
And you said you and Fred?
No, my friend.
Oh, you and your friend, right. The data detective, Chris.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. Yes. Well, we could certainly, adjust it to store more data if we could identify good data to store. Anything blocking you? Any other plans?
No blockers right now. No.
All right. Yes. So since the last one, we had the Elixir mob. Matt and Ryder and I were looking at this hound testing, and that does seem like the helper functions are not as good there as some of the ones from Wallaby. And Ryder pointed out that Wallaby in principle can actually allow us to use different drivers. So I guess we'll keep exploring there. We have, I guess is the main blocker still that the test wouldn't run on CI, but anyway. The bigger blocker there relates to, we've got screen sharing working on the Agile Ventures Jitsi, but it seems to all shut down when we have more than 2 people in a session for some reason. We don't understand why. There is some mention of someone else having that problem with a hand-rolled Jitsi, but I guess Ryder and I will look at that in more detail on Friday. What else happened then? It was lunch, and yeah, I didn't really make any progress. Yeah, I think the solution to your issue that you have with the training thing, if you read the notes that they have in the file carefully, I mean, depending where you are, there was a thing for me where it was just like, yeah, the training loss with regularization was failing. I managed to ultimately fix that just by very carefully reading their notes about what they wanted. There's like an extra term that you need to include.
Yeah, you multiply by 1/2, right?
Right.
That didn't seem to fix it.
Okay, that was okay. So maybe you're stuck on something else. I'm on this, so that's working for me. But then the gradients with regularization are not working for me, and I thought I'd okay. So I'm doing now what we did in the previous assignment, which is that I'm adjusting the gradients based on their regularization term. But and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense, that should fix it all, and then it didn't. So I'm kind of like,
Did you take into account the 1/2?
I tried yes, I did take into account the other half, and I tried it with and without. And I think my next step, what's annoying about this, actually was the same thing that's annoying about some of the ways that the hound helpers work when you try and use them in a certain way, is that it kind of it tells you the difference, but not what the two values are. So I'm thinking probably well, maybe not tomorrow. We'll see about tomorrow. Anyway, next couple of days, I'm going to re-instrument it so I can actually see not just what the relative difference between the two things are, but what the absolute value is between the two things, and go from there. So that was that, and then we had the order graders meeting where, yeah, I guess nothing much to report on that front. I guess I'm trying to decide about doing another run of the MOOC, which I don't have great motivation for, but maybe we should get it on the road. Yeah, Rose and Richard have got new Spock starting up. And then, yes, that's now, I'm busy wrestling with different individual, like, sort of private paid projects and things, and trying to get back on top of everything after a week away. We've got a new members meeting coming up in about an hour. And just trying to work out how to prioritize effectively. Very pleased to see that Mariam made progress on the NHS Wiki front. Seems like there's a lot of extra stuff to understand there. I'm hoping to load that all into my brain at some point. Yeah, there we go. That's our Scrum. Yeah, I'm also thinking to try and get more people involved in running scrums. Is there a regular time that you'd be available to start a scrum, like one time a week, Michael?
Not necessarily, no.
It's always variable. You don't have a consistent, like, you'd always be free on let's say a Thursday to do a modern Fowler scrum or something.
Not necessarily, no.
No. All right. Not to worry. All right. Cool. Well, I guess maybe I'll see you at the new members meeting later today, or otherwise I'll see you later in the week.
All right.
Bye for now.